Hello, scary dolls.
Hello.
What's up?
I'm Mandy.
I'm Ashley.
I'm Gato. It's Tim.
Gato was abducted by aliens. She's partying out in space.
Yeah.
So Tim's here to cover.
I heard she went to Mars.
Probably. But you are listening to Scary Not Scary Podcast.
Yay. Podcast.
Do you want to tell everybody what's staring at you right now?
Evil is staring at me.
She won't
That's
make
what
eye
it is.
contact with Tim.
I look, but I'm looking at his mustache, right under his
And his
nose.
mustache.
So that I don't look up. It's it. That's what it is. It's
Pennywise.
Pennywise.
Yeah.
Tim's
The
wearing a
dancing
beanie that
clown.
has Pennywise on it.
It's staring straight at me. I can see it from my peripheral
And Ashley
vision.
watched him put it on, and he has Pennywise facing forward, and he turns it to the side and it's staring at her.
It's great.
Because we all float down here.
It's going to haunt my dreams now.
It's going to give you sleep paralysis.
Oh, I swear, Tim, if I have sleep paralysis, I'm coming for you.
I wouldn't know.
You don't have sleep paralysis?
No.
Really?
No.
Ever?
No.
You know what? Okay, so y'all aren't going to hear it, but wherever Tim needs to cut, he's talking to himself and telling him that he needs to cut or edit something
No,
out.
you'll hear it. I'll leave
What
some
if-
in there.
What if you say future Tim, cut that out? Because
Yes.
technically it's you in the future.
Talking from the past.
Yes.
Different dimensions.
Hey, am I time traveling? If I do that?
Technically, you are.
I would consider it time traveling.
Yes.
I would.
That'd be legit.
But,
you can put that on your resume.
I'm a time traveler.
So it's been confirmed Annabelle did not run away.
Yes. Thank God I do not need to pray.
It's not the end of the world. Right. I got on Twitter and somebody was like, thank God it was a hoax. We don't need another, I forgot what they said, another plague happening in the world or something.
Oh, wow.
What they were calling it the Annabelle plague. Like everybody being possessed.
Hell no. I want to be like, what's that movie, Constantine, where he's got that gun?
With the crosses?
gold
Yeah, the
shotgun.
gold crosses. I'm just going to be
Oh my
like
God.
copping everybody.
Just imagine, like you're walking outside to your car and you just see somebody
Hell.
crawling.
Oh, shit.
My car has an S on it, which I'm guessing is for super mode. That's what it's for. Right.
I have eco mode.
I have Eco Boost.
That makes it go slow.
I know.
So
I'll
there
take
was-
that off and put it
There
on
was
S.
one time I was driving down the highway and Tim goes, ready? And I was like, for what? And I'm driving and he takes off the eco mode and it just took off. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. When you put it in sport mode, it's just like,
What does this button do?
because you're used to pressing the gas all the way and not going nowhere. And then when you press all the way on sport mode, you're down the street.
Isn't that crazy? That's weird. But
Cars
cool.
are weird.
Yeah.
I had a dream I was trying to buy a Jeep last night.
Do you want a Jeep?
No.
Like Gatos?
No, it's too small.
Oh.
I was going to I wanted a Wrangler.
Wrangler.
Wrangler. You're going to go wrangle some.
A Jeep Wrangler.
She's going to go wrangle some ghosts.
But it's because my uncle has one and I mean, it's big, but not big enough, really. I mean, because I have my brothers and my sisters with me sometimes, so
Yeah.
my RAV isn't big. I think I want a 4Runner.
That thing's as big as a Hummer, though.
What?
Their Jeep.
Yeah.
No, not the Hummer one. Maybe the Hummer 2 or the 3. It's kind of small.
I don't know cars, so I don't know.
Hummer 1, the first Hummer was huge.
So let me break it down for you.
So he takes out his computer.
Hummer 1 is
Here's
huge.
the list.
2 and 3, not so huge.
Yeah, they were smaller. to
Oh, man.
conserve gas, but it still didn't work. And so
They
you just
tried.
thought, yeah.
Do you want to tell everybody what we're talking about?
We're talking about video games
Haunted video games.
I'm not surprised.
and scary video games.
Scary video games.
There's a lot of scary video games out there, just to let y'all know, especially Ashley.
Yeah.
I'm
There's
still
a
trying to
lot.
get her to play some.
Nope. Will not
So-
happen.
I went on Steam because I'm doing that thing in October,
Mm-hmm.
and I just searched scary games, and there was thousands of things that came up. And I was like, well, let me just look through a few. before I lose my mind.
Because there's the scary games, like the creepy ones. And then there's also like the games, like the creepy games that people play. And they have encounters while playing the game.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's why there's so many. Because there's like encounters and there's like, oh, I was playing this game and then this happened. And then it's like, you know, dreams and like this. It's a whole...
So speaking of playing video games and encounters happening, I'm going to be covering Silent Hill.
I don't know what a lot of these games are, so this is the first time I'm hearing them.
I'm all waiting for a reaction. Silent Hill, hello. Like, you don't know Silent Hill? No, I'm just kidding.
Like the movie? I've only seen the first one.
Actually.
But I to be honest, I wasn't really paying attention. Because you know how
two movies.
Yeah, there's only 2.
Yeah.
I'd say if I had to pick one, the first one was
Creepy.
It was more creepier, and then the second one.
Just for clarification, is the movie the one where they go into like that desert mountain place and there's like these creepy like people that were like exposed to like, oh no, that's The Hills Have Eyes. Wrong one, JK.
That sounds a lot like Hills Have Eyes.
Wrong one. Never mind.
So
Moving
you've
on.
never seen it.
I don't think then. I've never seen it then.
So next time you come over, we're watching it.
Oh no.
So
I'll buy it.
And there's like about what? You're going to buy it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll buy it on Voodoo.
Yeah.
So there's, what did we say? 12 installments total, maybe, of Silent Hill?
I don't know. I know there's more than 6.
So there's a total of 10 games published, but that's not including like the spin-offs that they've made. And that's not including like the mobile apps that they've created
Jeebus.
off the game. So if you don't know what Silent Hill is and if you've never heard of it, Silent Hill is a horror media franchise centered on several survival horror video games created by Kiricho Toyoma, developed and published by Konami and published by its subsidiary Konami Digital Entertainment. The first 4 video games in the series, which is Silent Hill that came out in 1999, Silent Hill 2 came out in 2001, 3 came out in 2003, and Silent Hill 4, The Room, came out in 2004, were developed by an internal group called Team Silent. It's a development staff within the former Konami's subsidiary Konami Computer Entertainment staff that created like the last few of them.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so then later on, there are 6 other games that came out, which was Origins, Homecoming, Shattered Memories, Downpour, which is the one that Drew said that was really scary. Book of Memories. They were all developed by others. The Silent Hill franchise expanded to include several various print pieces and also 2 feature films, along with other spin-off video games. So one of those is actually a video game app for your phone. I think it's called Silent Hill Arcade.
Damn.
I'm going to get it.
I know, I looked it up earlier. I think it's like a subscription. But
Oh, like a monthly?
Yeah, it's like a monthly subscription, but I kind of want to download it because it looks really cool.
So when you said that, I looked it up and this came up.
Oh.
And it looks in the
What is it?
screenshots. It looks exactly like
The hallway.
the hallway.
Okay, so since we're talking about
Ew.
the hallway, so remember I had said 6, I only named 5. So technically the 6th installment would have been Silent Hills with an S. And this was actually a PT. So it's PT stands for playable teaser. So this installment was directed and designed by Hideo Kojima. Sorry, Tim gave me that side eye look like I just told you how to say his name. I just got to remember Kuchi. So it's like Kojima.
Hideo Kojima.
Hideo Kojima. Kojima. He collaborated with film director Guillermo del Toro. So they released this teaser for PlayStation 4 on August 12th, 2014 as a free download on the PlayStation Network. Pretty much this was like an interactive teaser of Silent Hills. So it was like an hour-long gameplay. And then when you finally finished or beat that part of the teaser, you finally got to see like the Silent Hills, I guess like, what is it?
Like the trailer?
Like the trailer. Yeah.
Okay.
And actually, if you didn't know this, Norman Reedus was the main character. Well, not his name Norman, but like the actor Norman Reedus. Like they had him like digitalized and everything into the game, voice, everything.
Damn, that would have been freaking.
So yeah, so PT, like they hyped it up like it was going to be like the #1 horror game of the year. Everybody talked about it. When the free download came out, it was everywhere. Like all the gamers on like YouTube, like they posted themselves playing it. There was like a lot of reactions. So many like reviews. Like I remember me and Tim were excited about it because I grew up playing these games with my uncles.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think we were talking about buying like the 1 through 4, buying it for the Xbox. We went to like a few different GameStops looking for it.
We went to a lot.
Yeah. It probably took us like maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah, and to be honest, I think because when we were looking for it, because it was the HD collection, so I think it only has 2 and 3. But we went to so many that when we found it, the box was all messed up, and it was kind of like fitting because the game is all scary. And I was like, yeah, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it.
Yeah. So PT is a psychological. So like playing the game, it's a horror game, but it's more of like a psychological horror thriller. So you put all of those together and it could really like mess you up.
Oh,
so just
no.
like, because we didn't have the PlayStation 4 at the time. So we were watching Markiplier on YouTube. He did like a whole gameplay of it or whatever. So just like watching somebody else play it, you're like, what the hell? Because it's literally a loop. So you're just like, you're in a house. It's like an L-line hallway. You can't go anywhere. You're literally just walking down an L-line hallway and like all of this crap is happening to you. You hear a radio talking about a murder. You hear a fetus crying in the bathroom. And your peripheral vision, if you're paying attention, like you'll see like a random spirit like staring at you or like a figure staring at you from the corner.
Hell no.
You hear noises. If you have like your headset on, you hear like roaches crawling on the floor. You hear rats talk, like, you know, the sounds of rats, like every little noise you hear. It's just creepy. And I remember too, Tamika, correct me if I'm wrong, but when Markiplier, and I just remember this, when Markiplier was playing, you hear like a whisper, like somebody whispering by you almost.
I think so, yeah.
Right? Like somebody whispering.
Yeah.
It's very,
like in your ear?
Yeah, and it's very faint. And I remember when he heard, and I thought maybe I heard it, but I was like, nah, probably just hearing things. But he like jumped out of his chair and he like looked around, and because, you know, he had all his lights off and stuff. So when he did that, I was like, okay, yeah, no, I wasn't imagining it.
It definitely messes you up. I mean, I played it, I want to say maybe a month or like a few weeks after it came out. My friend had a PS4 and he has a room. He had a room in his house, his parents' house, that was all the way in the back. So it was quiet. And when you turn off all the lights in there, it's dark. And the only light that he had on was the TV, and the PlayStation controller has a light on the back of it. So it's kind of somewhat lights up the room. But when you're aiming it down, it kind of like lights up the floor. And oh my God, just, you know, you giving the description, it's just bringing me back into that atmosphere. And it's just...
and like there's lights in the hallway, but they're very faint. But and then like the weather outside, it's like dark, gloomy, it's raining. You hear thunder, the lights flicker on and off because of the thunder. Like it's...
As soon as you said like Guillermo del Toro was a part of it, I was like, oh, hell no.
Yeah.
Like like he's legendary for stuff like that.
And I also think that's why everybody was so hyped up, because they know like how amazing he is. And then also like The Walking Dead was fairly new too at that time. Well, like there was a couple of seasons out, but it was very popular. So like Norman Reedus was like one of like the main characters that was very popular too. So knowing that he was going to be a part of it too, like really hyped it up. So like it was... Everybody was talking about it, bloggers, gamers, everybody. And then, unfortunately, they decided it was supposed to come out in September, and it got canceled.
What?
So,
yeah.
Nobody really knows
so
the
sad.
reason. Yeah, it was like everybody was pissed off. Everybody was disappointed, of course, because like this was like the #1 thing everybody was talking about that year. And like everybody was ready to buy it. I think even us, like we were like, as soon as like it was going to go out on pre-sale, like we were going to reserve the game and everything.
I was gonna try to get a PS4 then.
So
Yeah.
then the thing that came out was just a teaser.
It was just a teaser.
It was just like a demo.
It was
What?
just the demo, and everybody was like freaking out about it.
gosh.
Yeah. So imagine like if they did release the game, how much more
Dude.
scary it would be. And the graphics were amazing.
Yeah,
like
they
it was
were.
like watching a movie.
Yeah.
Nope.
It was a very like high detail. Like you would look at, they had a phone and they had like candy wrappers and candies, like the individual detail put into like every single little thing.
Dang.
It was like very realistic. I mean, I'm pretty sure even if you play it now, like it still looks good.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah,
No thanks.
So when I nobody really knows the reason. Kojima never really came out with a solid reason why it got canceled. He was just like, "Oh, it's canceled." You know what I mean? But what I've researched is that they said that the game's development was questioned due to rumors surrounding Kojima's work with the completion of Metal Gear Solid. So I guess there was some kind of like conflict with Metal Gear Solid and Silent Hill's development. I don't know. I think something more happened.
Yeah.
My mind's probably messed people up psychologically. So
And they were probably like, maybe not.
So speaking of that, there's a lot of gamers that did say like it made them paranoid, like it did mess them up psychologically. It was almost like PTSD. There is one gamer that said, and I forgot to write his name down, but he did write into Reddit on a Reddit post, and he did say that he experienced like sleep paralysis.
Mm-hmm.
So he wasn't in his room. He was in the hallway of that house of the demo. And he said that he felt himself awake, but he was in his dream. And he said that he can hear like voices. He could hear the radio, like the thunder outside, everything. And then he can see the lady like from his peripheral vision coming towards him. Well, there's this bathroom that you walk into. It's very disturbing, but it's like a fetus, but it's like an actual crying baby. So he said what woke him up was hearing the baby cry, and he said he jumped out of bed. He was drenched in sweat, and when he looked on his TV, because the light of the TV kind of like woke him up too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the TV was on the demo of Silent Hills.
Oh,
But he says
Oh no.
he did say like he did play it and then he fell asleep, but he knows that he turned it off.
Oh.
But
so it
when
wasn't
he
like he
woke
fell asleep
up-
with it on.
Right. So when he woke up, it was on. He said it was almost like 3:00 in the morning.
Oh, hell
yeah.
no.
It turned itself back on.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh my God.
So there's a lot of gamers that said they experienced like that kind of stuff playing. And it's almost like, and it's a loop when you play it. It's when you go down the hallway, you get to a certain point, almost like a checkpoint, and then it starts all over again. You start back at the other end of the hallway. And then there's
What?
like a radio that's playing, and we were talking about this earlier. He was talking about like, this man killed his wife, and every time the game restarts, the guy on the radio is saying something different. And what did you say? He said that was real creepy.
So he says, as you're walking past it, he says, look behind you.
Oh,
I
yeah.
said, look behind you.
Oh,
And then
hell
at that
no.
point, I think that's where you hear like whispers coming behind you. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Dude.
It's
And if you
messed
look
up.
behind you, you see the woman, and that woman, she traumatized me. I mean, I had dreams about that lady after that. It was just freaky. Like, I don't know if you ever see a video of the lady, it's just, she's like this big tall woman, and as she's moving, she doesn't walk towards you, she's floating towards you, and her head is just not straight. Like her head is just twitching
Going in like a
Vibrating,
different
twitching.
direction.
Yeah,
almost like a
it's-
seizure.
yeah.
She's having
Oh.
a seizure
but it's
coming towards
just
you.
her head. It's just her head, and it's the freakiest thing. And then I actually forgot about this when we first played it. There was something that I don't know if it was just like a bug or something that happened, but we were playing and we clipped. That's when two objects in a video game become into the same space. So it's like they kind of see into each other.
Uh-huh.
And they're in the same virtual space. So we clipped, and we were technically like, her head was in the camera. You see her head just like moving on the screen, and it was just it
Ooh.
was
It's
freaky,
weird.
just disturbing.
I'm all laughing.
I mean,
all weird.
yeah,
I'm
like
like,
it is
ew.
funny. Like if that's the only thing you see, but
So if you go on YouTube and if you look up Silent Hill's demo or like if you just type in PT, all of these like Silent Hill like
Stuff comes up
of like people playing demo reactions and stuff. So there's this one video that I did see, and from the moment that the demo starts, paranormal stuff is already happening in the background. So it's not like every time it restarts, like it gets scary and it does. It gets scary and scarier, but it's more like you're noticing it more. But in the beginning, you're not really paying attention to what's around you because you're trying to figure out like how to play the game because it is kind of hard and confusing like to figure it out. So that's what your mind's focused on. So this one gamer, he did the video and he put the Easter eggs, or not Easter eggs, but like little snippets of like the moment you start the game, there's like this picture, and in that picture there's a face in the picture staring at you from when you start the demo. And then he does another one where when you're walking down the hallway the first time, the window where there's the lightning, you see like a shadow standing by the tree. And then another one where like right before you go into the bathroom, there's somebody down the hallway staring at you, or somebody staring at you from the stairs. And then
that was creepy.
Yeah, he shot another one too where like he goes into the bathroom and you see like the fetus in the sink crying. But when you're looking down at the fetus and when you look up, it happens real quick. But when you look up in the mirror, there's a figure standing next to you in the mirror. So like that whole video is just showing you like the moment you start the game, like there's all this creepy paranormal stuff that's happening all around you, but you're so focused on trying to figure out how to play it. You don't pay attention until things start becoming noticed more and more like as you play.
Oh my gosh.
They even get you in the first like minute, like first few seconds of the game. Like as soon as you start, your character is lying on the ground and there's roaches that are just on your hands. So at that point, just, 90% of people, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's a higher percent, but most people are just at that point, just, just
that would have been like, I'm done.
No.
Yeah.
So going back to the older games, so Silent Hill 1, or Silent Hill, the original, that came out in 1999, and then Silent Hill 2 that came out in 2001, they said that there is, and I air quote, bugs or like little viruses in the game, like glitches and stuff, or like things that weren't right about the game that kind of made it like run slow, or like there is things that were happening that shouldn't have been happening. And I say air quotes because every gamer that played 1 and 2 experienced different weird things that happened. So like Harry, he was the main character in Silent Hill, the first game. One gamer said that he was playing it and Harry by himself turned towards the gamer and said, "I've been stuck here a long time." And he told his friend like, "Hey, like, did this weird thing happen to me? Like, did this happen to you? Like, that creeped me out." Like when he looked at the camera and said, "I've been stuck here a long time." And his friend's like, "What? That never happened to me." So he saved, you save your games and it's like in this file. So he said he went back to look at the file. He did the gameplay, played it back, and like,
it wasn't there.
It wasn't there.
Wow.
Yeah. So then Silent Hill 2, this guy wrote in on a blog. He didn't leave his name, but he said that he went to a garage sale and he was just rummaging through stuff. And he happened to come across Silent Hill 2. And he was really excited because it was Fright Night with his friends. And normally when it's Fright Night, they like watch scary movies. They play scary video games. And he happened to have like the old PlayStation game. So when he came across the Silent Hill 2 game, it was the original Silent Hill 2, like same box, cover, everything. So he was super excited. So he went up to the guy that was selling it. He goes, "Hey, like, how much are you selling this for?" And the guy's like, "Oh, that used to be my game. Like, go ahead. It's, take it. It's yours for free." He's like, "Okay, cool." But they ended up exchanging information or whatever. Because I guess like, I assumed like they sat there and talked like about video games or whatever. So that night, him and his friends watched the scary movies. They played the scary video games, and he busted out the PlayStation. They were all super excited. They play it. They get to a certain point in the game, and it like paused or glitched. And then they tried to save it and then go back to reopen it, and it wouldn't reopen. So the friends were like, it's getting late anyways. It was like about to be midnight or probably just hit midnight. The friend's like, "We're going to go home." He's like, "Okay, cool. Like, whatever, go home." Well, he wanted to keep playing the game past midnight. So he goes back to play the game, and he says when he goes to turn the game on, instead of it being like the PlayStation logo that it's restarting, it goes straight to James, which is the main character in part 2, and he's sitting in a cell. And he's just sitting there, like, shaking his head. He's looking down, and he's like, well, this is weird. Like, we weren't even at this point, because he said that they were in the jail, but they were, like in a hallway trying to get a door open. Like, they were trying to look for a key for a door to open it. So he's like, that's weird. Like, we didn't stop at this point. So he says that he gets, he's playing the game. James is getting up, and, like, he's trying to look to open up the prison, like the jail cell. And James says, I've been here a long time. And I think he said something like, he looked right at the camera, kind of similar to the other guy's experience. And he said, don't play the game past midnight. Or he said something weird like that. And then he said that Pyramid Head came out and killed James. And then some weird glitch thing happened. And, like, the game turned off. So he's like, oh, that's weird. Like, I don't know about this. So then he said that he ends up getting a hold of the guide. He's like, hey, like, I experienced some, like, weird stuff with, Silent Hill 2. Like, this and this happened to me. He goes, oh, yeah, you can't play that game past midnight. I experienced the same stuff, probably weirder stuff, too. But if you finish the game, you have to make sure you finish it before midnight. Don't go playing it past midnight. So he was determined, like, okay, I'm going to finish it the next day, and I'm not going to go past midnight. He said the entire time he was playing the game, James kept saying, he says right here, he said, James kept saying to himself, why was I left here? Why was I left here to die? The entire time he was playing the game, he would stop and say that.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
That whole thing, it sounds like the start of a good scary movie.
Yeah.
Friends together, and they're like at a rummage sale. Oh, this is for free. Yeah, take it.
Like a scary 1980s
Yeah.
movie.
And
Yeah.
then, like, kind of skimming through this, he even said too that Pyramid Head would come out at random times, like times that he knew that Pyramid Head shouldn't have come out, but he kept coming out and, like, chasing James, or, like, Pyramid Head would, like, look at the camera, but, like, if it was looking at the guy playing the game.
Oh, hell
It was
no.
just, he said it was just a really weird experience. He beat it, and he's never played it again because he experienced weird stuff.
I would
What
have
the
dropped the
fuck?
controller at that point too. Nope. Never putting that game back in.
I would have burned it.
I just remember, I think they're called the she monsters.
What?
The nurses, what are they called? The she monsters?
Oh, I don't know. I'm
They're
just like,
there's like these nurses, and they have, like, no face, and they're all
Ew.
yeah.
seizuring towards you with
And
knives.
that's usually always like, I don't know, in the ones that I've played, that's always the first place that you go. Like, it's like, let's go to the hospital. And you're already like, no, I've been there already. We don't need to go back. It's okay.
So, fun fact, the Silent Hill film came out in 2006, but there's a real life Silent Hill town.
What?
Yes. Yes. So Silent Hill is in West Virginia, but the game, like the movie, is, like, in West Virginia, but it's actually in the little town's called Centralia, Pennsylvania. So in May 1962, the town ordered to have a local landfill burned in an attempt to clean up the waste. Well, the fire spread throughout the town into the unsealed tunnels, and the opening led to, like, an abandoned coal mine, and thus, like, made everything blow up. So the fire, like, spread throughout the town. So local firefighters were unable to, like, seize the burning. And then the government quickly decided that the town needed to evacuate due to their safety because of smoke and all that. So, because it's bad for your lungs or whatever. So just like the film, in the air, like, it was contagious, it was dangerous, like, they couldn't have people living there. So eventually, after a while, they let people, people didn't want to leave. They stayed in their homes. So only, like, a few people stayed there.
Did they turn on the siren?
They said that they have a siren that's similar to Silent Hill.
Oh my God.
But they said that when the fire spread, a siren went off, and people claim that sounds like the same siren from Silent Hill.
No.
Mm-mm.
So
No.
most people left, and then also, like, a few stayed, of course, in hopes that the fire would stop. One of the only remaining buildings is a church, and and it's actually still in use, at the time. And then it's actually similar to Silent Hill because Silent Hill has a church, But except, Silent Hill is like full of cults and demons and devil worshippers and stuff like this. This wasn't like that. So eventually the town, in 2002, the town zip code was suspended by the United States Postal Service. So you can't even look up the town anymore. It's like non-existent. It's like a ghost town. And also all the roads leading to Centralia has been barricaded. So if you want to try to get to the town, you have to you drive up to a certain point and then you walk the rest of the way. And fun fact, YouTuber Omar Gosh, him and his friends went to that town and did a video they investigated. Yeah.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't it like you won't get in trouble if you go? Or they'll
No, because it's like a non-existent town. It's just they say you have to wear a mask because you still...
Yeah.
They said that because it hit that coal mine, you still smell the coal and
in the
the air is still contaminated and it's dangerous for you.
Oh,
man, that's crazy.
So there's a real life Silent Hill town, but instead it's called Centralia in Pennsylvania.
So can we go?
Yes.
No.
That's
Why
2 out of 3.
2 out of 3.
I was like, what do you mean 3? Oh, yeah, because the baby. Yeah. And then one more thing. There's a couple of gamers that wrote in that said that they would have dreams about the game. But in their dreams, so if they stopped playing the game, it was because they couldn't find a key to open a door. And in their dreams, they would let's say the key would be under the bed. So then they would wake up in the morning and play the game. And at that certain checkpoint they were at to try to open the door because they couldn't find the key, they would check underneath the bed that was there and the key would be there. Or they would have dreams that they were real life playing the game, they couldn't beat a certain monster, let's say Pyramid Head. And then in their dream, they would dream that they were fighting Pyramid Head and then they would use a certain technique that would kill him. So they would try it in real life on the video game and that's what would not kill him, but make him go away at that point.
What?
Wow.
Yeah. So some say Silent Hill's cursed, or Silent Hill opened up its own dimension and it's its own reality, kind of similar to Slender Man. If you believe it, it'll happen.
Yeah,
so,
I believe that.
I think so too. I think people have just experienced so many different things that are not the same playing this game. I think it's
weird.
Its own dimension. I don't know.
Yeah, because you get trapped there. Get trapped and
that's why I don't play video games. That's exactly why right there. No.
So that's the Silent Hill franchise.
Mm-mm.
Go play it.
Please don't play it.
Play PT.
buy it now.
Oh yeah, well yeah, that too. PT, they completely took it off PlayStation. You can't play it anymore.
So you even can't download it anymore?
No.
The people who were able to download it at the time made copies of it and sell it for hundreds of dollars. Or they sell the actual PlayStation with it on there the hard drive.
Damn.
On
They're
eBay.
making some money.
Tim found one earlier that was $500 on eBay.
$500.
$500?
Plus $10 shipping.
So $510.
$510.
Oh my God. Nope. Nope. Mm-mm.
I hope they eventually bring it out.
That's
I don't
crazy.
think so.
Damn it.
I wonder why, I don't know. Oh my God.
I'm going to get you to play it.
No,
we
thanks.
have 1 through 4, I think.
No, thanks. I'll have to watch something happy. I'll have to.
We'll watch Grease
Yeah, for
afterwards.
sure. Did you say Grease?
Yes.
Oh my
Grease.
goodness.
Danny Zuko.
Oh my God. Okay, well, apparently, speaking of games that go non-existent anymore or no longer available, there was this arcade game. It's called either Polybius or Polybius. It's Polybius. I'm going to say Polybius because Polybius. So technically, it was a game that came out and it apparently originated in Portland, Oregon in 1981. It's this mysterious video game that just popped up in arcades around Portland. They don't know who created it, where it came from, who put it there. Some of the arcades didn't even order the game to be put in there. It just showed up one day. It was just there. And the reason that it's gained so much like traction and like it's basically become some sort of like a cult, like one of those like occult things, is because the game is supposed to be like, you know how the arcade games are usually like all colorful and like going all down the sides and stuff. It shows like their logo and like characters and stuff.
All the
from
graphics.
The game. Yeah, like all the graphics in there.
Yeah.
Well, this game apparently it's just a black box. And the only thing with color is just the name, like on the top. Like that's it. And there's no colorful like shapes or anything on that. And apparently, it became instantly addictive, hypnotic, and in some cases became even dangerous. There was apparently a case where 2 teenage boys, they were playing the game and they vanished after playing the game. Like they just gone. Don't know where they went.
Aliens.
Oh my God.
Right? But apparently, people say that they've seen like these men in black suits, kind of like Men in Black, but yeah, like men in black suits like that are somewhat seen, like, and it's mostly around like people who make high scores in the game. Like if they're like really close to like either beating the game or have like a super, super high score than anybody else, those are the people that go quote unquote missing and they disappear.
Well,
You better not play it.
I want to play it. That sounds interesting. And you know what I thought about when you were saying the kids missing?
What?
I thought about Stranger Things.
Ooh.
The kids playing the game.
They're in the
Maybe they're in
upside
the
down.
maybe they're in the upside down.
Oh my gosh. Ooh. Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
So apparently a lot of people say that it is a secret government thing. So there was like this program.
Please don't mess up our podcast.
It was like some sort of research program that they were doing, but they don't know if it was like, was it part of like the CIA? Was it the FBI? Like it was some sort of like secret thing. And they basically, it was a program that they were doing like unethically, and they got kind of caught-ish doing it. And so the people that were involved, they didn't even know like what they were doing. So they told them something different, but they were really doing, you know, this. And it was basically like to test them psychologically, right? So what they were thinking is that they put it into an arcade game, put it out there. That's why it just showed up like out of nowhere.
Disguised it.
Yeah. That way, like they wouldn't really get in trouble. And then they could get so many people and so many subjects to do this game. And apparently the people that, you know, made the high scores, those are the people that they wanted, because apparently it's like, I don't know, they were like, oh my God, they're doing really good at the program. Let's take them. I don't know. They're like high intelligence or whatever. I don't know like what it was, but something.
They're
right?
aware.
Yeah. Like maybe like they were beating it and they were like the smart ones, or like I don't know, but it's weird. It's really, really weird. So the even weirder thing is that there's like, supposedly there's like this database thing where you can like get all the serial numbers, like all of the information for all like the arcade games, all the vintage arcade games. And this one cannot be found. Like it doesn't say who made it. There's no serial numbers. There's no information for this game whatsoever. It just like popped out of nowhere, just came up. So they're saying that the whole entire legend of this whole game started back in 1994 or earlier, because there was another claim apparently that existed. But as far as everyone else is concerned, the earliest confirmed record of the legend is an entry for the title added to arcade game resources. So the resource where you can go and find all of like the arcade games is coinop.org. And in February 6th of 2000, the entry mentions the name Polybius with the copyright of 1981. However, there's no copyright that has been registered like by anybody else, like no company, no game developer. Nobody claimed it. It's just an entry on this website. And apparently that website has a lot of like copyrights for all of the arcade games. I don't know like about video games, but definitely all arcade games. But they can't find like anything whatsoever. And it says that the person that created, it doesn't say who the person is, but the person that did create it this entry claims in the description that it's in possession of a ROM image of the game. And apparently they've were able to extract fragments of text from it. And that's where the 1981, apparently the game was called, it's either Ukrainian or German or something. But apparently it's supposed to be called Sinultion or something like that. But it's basically listed as unknown. It's they don't, so we don't know if this game is actually called that Sinultion thing, or if the government took it over. And then it's just weird. There's no direct ties to anything. It's just random
somebody just planted it there.
Yeah,
let's
kind of
they're
oh, I'm just gonna put this breadcrumb here. Maybe they'll go with it. But it's none of the information that they find connects to it. This game just came out of nowhere.
They covered their tracks.
Yeah. So apparently the game is described as very addictive, where some people even say that they get so addicted that they don't eat, they don't sleep. They can just be at the arcade game for hours and hours. Some even say more than 24 hours just playing this game. They don't, they don't see anything else or nothing. It's just this video game.
They just suck them in.
Yeah. And apparently they experience things like side effects. So insomnia, they have night terrors, they have hallucinations. Some even have amnesia. They're I don't remember even playing this game. I guess once their family members or friends are dude, what the hell? And then they're I don't even remember. What the hell? What did I do? But supposedly 1 month after 1981, when it was supposedly released, the game just disappeared without a trace. It was no longer in arcades. The physical game was not there. It just vanished. So it was only there for I don't know, about a year, maybe 2 years, and then boop, gone. And no one can find it. And there have actually been people that have tried looking for it, that have tried to find the original files for it, that have because how some people celebrities and stuff, they'll buy vintage video games or arcade games. Nobody has this video game. This arcade game. Nobody has it at all whatsoever. Wow. Yeah. And they've tried searching for the original file. They've tried going back to Portland, because that's where it showed up, was in Portland, Oregon. No, but there's no trace of it whatsoever.
Somebody's
it just
hiding it.
Yeah, something was weird. But the kicker that I was oh shit, is that it actually showed up in an episode of The Simpsons. The
Whoa.
actual, yeah. So it's gotta be real if it comes out in The
They
Simpsons.
predict the future.
Yeah. So in in the, I forgot what episode it was, but in one of the episodes, it's Bart. He's playing the game, and it's just a black box, and it says Polybius on it. And on the bottom, or not on the bottom, yeah, on the bottom of it, in the front, it has a stamp on it that says property of the U.S. government on it. And this is in The Simpsons, guys.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
The writer's psychic.
Right.
That's my theory.
They have inside knowledge.
They do.
So another thing that's really weird is that in September of 2003, Kurt Kohler, who is the owner of the coinop.org, submitted a tip-off to the video game magazine Game Pro about Polybius. So in the Game Pro issue, it was part of a video game series called Secrets and Lies. And apparently this is the very first known printed mention of the game. And it exposed the legend of the mass market audience. The article even declared the existence of the game to be inconclusive. And it was helping spark the curiosity, and it helped spread the story. And that's why a lot of people started investigating it, going into it, trying to figure out where is this game? What happens? What is it? And all this kind of stuff. There was a bar that came out. I think it was 2012. There was a bar in New York called Barricade or Barricade. For Halloween, you know how they decorate the bars. Well, they decorated one of the arcade games that they had to look like Polybius. But apparently when he posted, I guess the owner posted the picture on Instagram, it was so convincing to like a whole lot of people that I don't know if it was like government people, but there was actual people that went to investigate the game to see if it was for real, because they
Oh my
they
God.
copied it like so good. And I was like, did they though? Or did they get the actual game? Who knows?
Yeah.
It was the black suits.
It was the black
The
suits,
Men in
right?
Black.
The men in black. But a lot of people are just saying like, no, it's a hoax. Like it was just probably like a video game that tons of teenagers back then were like so obsessed with and like, you know, this and that. But they compare it to the Tempest because it's supposed to have like the same kind of graphics as the Tempest. And it's supposed to have like, you know how like in the Tempest, like the motion's like really fast, like on there. That's how this Polybius game supposedly is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they compare it a lot to the Tempest because it says it reminds them a lot about it. But the thing that's weird is that there was two kids that one was playing the Tempest. The other one was playing another game, but it was like they were right next to the Polybius game. And both of those kids got really sick. One of them got really sick. Didn't say with what, like, I guess he just like got sick. The other one got really, really sick and had seizures. I'm thinking because of like how fast like the motions go in the video game. That's what I was thinking. But some people even say that they have like the hallucinations and like all that kind of stuff. But some even say that they've tried to attempt suicide. And I think there was like 2 accounts that people actually did commit suicide after playing the arcade game.
Wow.
Yeah. So there is this guy, his name, I don't know his first name, but it says S. Roach. Apparently he's saying, he posted on a forum that apparently him and a few of his friends are the ones that might have created this game because they were hired to create a game or something like that. It doesn't say who they were hired from, but that they were working with like graphics and things that they didn't really know. So it was basically like they were just like, oh, let's see what happens if we do this. Let's see what happens if we do that. So they're saying that he is claiming that him and a few of his friends were the ones hired to do it. But then it doesn't mention anything else like of that. But then the people on this forum basically like replied and were like, don't listen to him. He's just full of himself. Like he doesn't know what he's talking about, like this and that. But that same guy, there was apparently a PC game that came out of it in 2007. It was Polybius 4 PC that supposedly is similar to the original Polybius game. So it's not like the original game made for PC. It's like supposedly like similar to it. But he describes it as a 2D shooter that resembles the game Star Castle. And it's very intense. It's got intense graphics. And it duplicates the distinctive title screen and font referred to in the urban legend and is compatible with PC mounted inside arcade cabinets. So it's basically like if you're playing the arcade game just on the PC, right? Is that what it means? Yeah. So basically they're saying like, it's just, I want to get it. It's like if you're playing the actual arcade game, just like on your computer.
Tim found it on Steam.
Really?
Yes. It's like, what was it? $6.99?
$6.99.
Oh, no.
$6.99. Buying it tonight.
There are like other versions. Like there was a PlayStation one, but that one is not like similar to it or anything to do with it. It's just like inspired like by it. But I mean, this video game pretty much just like came and went. It made people hallucinate. It made them like super addictive. It was supposedly like some sort of like psychological game that just made them like so addicted to it that they didn't think of anything else. And then it just boop, vanished.
What if it's not the government? What if it's aliens?
What if it's the devil?
He's there creating video games.
I know.
Yeah. Just think about it. He's just like out of the ground, just I give you a video game. Play it.
No, I think it's aliens.
Maybe.
Or the government. That makes sense too.
Or what if, so remember they were only taking people with a high score. You know what came to my mind? High score, video game? No?
Mm-mm.
I'm trying to think of his name. Josh something. Is it Josh? Josh Hutcherson? Is that his name?
Oh, you're thinking of
I'm thinking of Future Man.
Future Man, yeah.
But that's his name, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You see, so I'm thinking of Future Man. Have you ever seen Future Man?
I've seen some of it.
Yeah, so like, what if it's a game sent from the future to find certain people?
I see.
Yeah.
And they
And
disappear.
and they disappear. And the games were gone without a trace.
Maybe.
Because they took them back into the future. Or
maybe because apparently like these men in the black suits, they would come every week and like check the arcade games. I keep wanting to say video games. Check the arcade games, but they wouldn't like take any of the coins or like nothing like that. It was like if they were like extracting the data from the video game every week.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Damn, time travel.
yeah.
Yeah. And I just found it right now that apparently the reason they compare it to the Tempest is because there's tiny lines and dots that dance and explode with high-pitched beeping across like the screen. So that's why they compare it to the Tempest.
And that could be another thing too. Because like kids, because they can hear, higher frequencies, right? And then as we get older, then we can't really hear like those ringtones that we had like in high school when it would be like the real high pitched noise and like the teacher couldn't hear it at all.
Oh yeah, I remember those.
Those were funny. It was just
so
like,
weird.
Hey, somebody's phone's going off, and then the old teacher, what? I don't hear nothing.
I don't hear anything. Yeah, like it's weird because a lot of people experience like seizures, nauseous. They felt stressed. They had like horrible nightmares, and it felt like some of them said they felt like they were unable to like control their own thoughts and stuff.
Mind control.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh hell no.
Maybe it is the GOVT.
Maybe,
Or it's aliens.
or aliens.
Aliens.
That's Polybius, guys. It's on The Simpsons. So
Reminds me of
there you go.
Jumanji.
Oh my god, yeah.
You know what? Yeah, that too. It comes out like of nowhere.
Mhm.
And then
it transformed. It transformed into a video game to match today's times.
yeah, it did.
Dude.
That's
Dun
right.
dun dun.
We're figuring this out now.
So I have a few things. The first thing I wanted to say was something that just caught my eye. I was searching for, things like this, video games, and how it could affect people, or things like that. And I found this story. It's kind of scary, but not in the way that you would think. So on July 12, 2017, in Woodbridge, Virginia, 21-year-old Cole Kahn, who was babysitting a 1-year-old, was arrested and charged for felony child neglect. So, before you reach across the table and punch me, because you have that face, the child is okay. Nothing happened. So, police received a call from someone who had seen the boy playing outside alone in the street. He was by himself. The boy was not injured, but Khan was found by searching through the neighborhood and was playing video games at the time the boy got out of the house. So, my first question is, like, why? What was he like? How did the kid get outside? Like,
Was the door not locked?
I know, Sabrina, she can reach the doorknob, but
We have it locked.
we always have it locked and
But I'm just picturing how tiny she is.
by herself on the street.
Anybody could have taken him. I think that's what freaks me out.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely scary. Like, just thinking about a 1-year-old alone on the street. Like, that's horrible.
I'm just picturing Sabrina out in the street by herself, and I'm like, oh hell no. Nope.
You know that kid is never babysitting any kids anymore after
Yeah,
that.
he got charged with the felony.
Probably in the news.
I wonder
and-
if it was his sibling or maybe a cousin or damn. Hope he was grounded. How old was he? 21?
21.
Oh my god.
Playing video
So
games.
he wasn't even a teenager.
That's horrible.
Hopefully it was an important game, you know what I mean? I'm
It
just
don't
kidding.
matter.
I'm just
His
kidding.
ass should have been paying attention.
Hopefully he won at least, you know. I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna slap him.
So-
You're gonna hear a slap.
If the episode isn't edited right, you know, it's because Tim died
By my hands.
by Mandy.
I'll still be here.
He's going to be all ghost editing the podcast.
Hurry up and finish the
edits.
podcast.
Ghost edits for the win. I also have so this one, Mandy actually showed this to me. So it caught my attention because this is a story about a streamer who was playing a scary game while streaming, and he had a very crazy encounter. So I had just started streaming, so like I've had like this kind of fear like for a while, and like I can see myself in the camera, but before I could only see just me and then the green screen being taken out. So all I could see was just me. So if anything was like behind me, like I mean I could see people, but you know, if there's like stuff happening behind the green screen, I couldn't see it. But this guy, his name was Rubsy, and he was playing a game called Outlast 2. So it's a pretty scary game. I haven't played it myself, but I've played a little bit of the first one. I don't want to ruin the second one, so I didn't look up the synopsis or the Snapchat.
Our favorite word. Synopsis.
The Snapchat of this one. But part one, you're a reporter and you go to an insane asylum, and you're trying to uncover if there's any injustices being performed or practiced on the patients. And all you're armed with is just a camera. So it's just you're this poor defenseless dude running from scary things. Like you see a doctor and he's got like no arms. He's got like saws for arms, and it's scary. But he's playing Outlast 2. And I mean, in the video, we can probably post it to Facebook. He gives a description of like what happened before the stream. So he brought his stuff to his friend's apartment to stream. And as he was unloading everything, he just felt uneasy, like uncomfortable, like throughout just moving, setting up everything in the apartment. And he had thought to himself, maybe I shouldn't do this. So he left. He still had a little bit of time before he had a stream. He left because he wanted to just kind of calm down. And he thought he was just, you know, he was going to be done with it. But he eventually just went back and eventually did the stream. So when he's streaming, like you can tell, like he's very uncomfortable. Definitely looks a little uneasy, but he's still doing his normal thing. He's interacting with the audience, playing the game, and out of the blue, you see the door in the hallway behind him. It's opening very slowly, and people in his chat are like, "Hey, is there someone with you? Like, you know, there's a door opening," and he doesn't see it because he's like taking a drink of water. He's taking a little break, and suddenly, as soon as he puts the bottle of water down, he starts playing again. The door slams, and it's, you know, it scares him, so he becomes frightened after that. So it cuts later into his stream, and the door's opening again. By this time, you can see him, and he's just frightened. Like his whole body is kind of shaking, and his voice is kind of like skipping, like you can tell he's scared. So he stops playing. He's just like, you know what? I'm just going to kind of check out what's going on. So he takes his phone and he's walking around just, you know, trying to look to see, like trying to find a logical explanation for everything. So he leaves the room, and you can see once he leaves the room, he has his camera filming, so you can see like from his camera, and you can still see his stream camera. So you see the door just slam, and he's not in the room, and his camera completely just, you know, turns around. You see him, he's like freaking out. But the crazy thing is that up to a little bit before that point, he says that he kind of blacked out. So not like he passed out, but he can't remember anything before or like after that, after what happened. So he rewatched his stream, and he was just like, whoa, I don't remember that. But continuing, he's still investigating. He goes to the door and he opens it. He's trying to, look around, see what's going on. And as soon as he turns around and looks the opposite way from the door, it slams behind him. And at that point, he just goes to the computer and he sits down and he's just, trying to collect himself. But the first words out of his mouth are, I can't do this. And he just continues, I can't do this. Like, I can't. And he's also saying he feels numb, like all over his body. At this point, he's just terrified and he doesn't play anymore. So he's apologizing to all of his viewers and he's just saying, I'm sorry the stream was so short. And just as he's, kind of going over that, right behind him, there's like a table and it's like a bunch of his stuff and like maybe like some glass centerpieces on the table and stuff. All of it just comes crashing down. The glass is breaking and he's just, at this point you see he's crying and that's when like the video kind of ends. So it was just seeing it was just kind of scary.
Oh, I would have ran out there. I would have been like, you know what? I'm sorry, friend. Screw your cat. Okay, I'm sorry. Screw your house.
So I originally found the story on Paranormal Cotton Camera. Mm-hmm. It's on the Travel Channel, and they actually interviewed him. And he said that he went to the apartment because he was apartment sitting for his friend who was out of town, and his friend happened to have a cat, so he had to go and like feed the cat. So he was like, oh, well, since I'm going to be there feeding the cat, I'll just stream while I'm there. So when all of this stuff was occurring, he ended up calling his friend and was like, hey, like, this is what I experienced. Like, you didn't tell me your house was haunted. Like, what the hell? But he did say at first he genuinely thought that his friends were playing a prank on him. So he thought it was like a setup prank. So in the video, you see him get up and you could tell he's scared. Like Tim said, like, he looks freaked out. But he's like going behind the doors, like, who's there? Like checking behind the doors because he thinks that they're pranking him. And then when he realized he's alone, like, he's just like, oh, crap.
I would have gotten out at the first slam.
Yeah, so a lot of the paranormal investigators said that it could be because he disturbed whatever energy was there, because whatever spirit or energy is there was used to his friend. And because he was there house sitting, he like disturbed the space. So that energy was upset and wanted him out. So he like kind of aroused everything. Or it also could have been because of the type of game he was playing. It was a paranormal game, like upside down crosses, scary. So maybe it was something from the game too that disturbed the space and the energy and caused all of this like paranormal phenomenon happening while he was there. I can
just imagine like a religious old grandma like getting mad at him. Mira, what the hell are you doing? Get that shit out of my house.
Or like her being mad, get the hell out, and like slamming everything on the table.
She's slamming I like the door slamming. I can just see like she opens it and like looking. He's still playing that fucking game, and then slams the door. That's what I could see that too.
She had a ghost chancla.
Right. She has a ghost chancla.
Oh my god! Yeah, we'll post a video on our Facebook so y'all can see it. But it's pretty crazy.
I would have been like, I'm sorry, bro, but like if that happened and I was like house sitting for you guys, I would have been like, you know what? I'm sorry, but bye. So yeah, I'm not here.
And he even said too, at that time, he expected about 50 people to be watching. But I guess because of the game, like it was a big game that came out, there was 200 people watching, right? 200 people streaming with him.
Paying attention to that.
So he had like a huge, I think I heard it while you were rewatching the video. He had like about 200 people watching him at the time.
That's crazy. And just, seeing that, I'm probably not going to stream any scary games like at all.
Oh, why?
Like, well,
I'm all like, yeah, good idea. She's like,
maybe,
why?
Not at night. I won't do it at night. That's scary.
I don't do nothing at night. During the day, the lights are on, the blinds are open. I can see everything.
And you see, that's what I like too. Like I have the light right here in front of me and it's real bright. So I can see, like, if I turn around, like the whole room is lit up. Yeah. So it's just like, okay, like there's light in here. Like even when I stream at night, like sometimes because y'all are asleep and the whole house is just quiet. So whenever I get up for like a break or to go get a drink, it's like as soon as I take my headset off, because I have the noise canceling headset, so I can't hear anything. besides
Tim.
what's in the game.
Oh no.
I have reservations about that.
And as soon as I take it off, it's just like, whoa, it's like
Silence.
eerie. Yeah. You hear the fan.
And you hear the blinds.
Especially the blinds. Yeah, the blinds. It's the blinds for like a sliding door.
Yeah.
So it's right next to the fan, and like the fan is a really huge fan, so it just like knocks them. Like if someone's walking by it, or like slowly like touching each one as they walk by, but it's continuous. It never stops. It's just.
Sabrina gets scared too sometimes when we're in the room because like at the bottom of the door, it looks like there's somebody pacing back and forth.
Yeah.
But it's the shadow of the blinds. So she's just sitting there and she's staring. And I'm like, baby, it's the blinds. And she's like, "Woo." Like she's
like,
scared. Yeah.
Are you sure?
There's someone there. But it looks scary because I remember when that first happened to me, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
What the hell? Yeah.
I mean, it's only recently, just because it got hot.
Yeah.
We never have that fan on because it's like in the winter, it's fine. But just because it's gotten so hot, it's just like we need that fan.
108.
Oh God.
Texas.
Yeah,
Burning.
Texas weather.
And then the last thing I wanted to talk about was just a game that, I mean, it left the impact on me. It was very scary. I could talk about all the games in the world, but Dead Space was by far the one that just got me the most. So I played it when it first came out, and it just starts from the main menu. So you pull up the game and you just hear whispers and just scary, the monster noises just growling, and then there's just flashes of images like sometimes it's they even show like some of the people in the game that you see either hurting themselves or to the point where they commit suicide, and it's just like flashes of that over and over, and it's totally unsettling. So I know I had a lot of bad dreams playing it, and sometimes it was a really good game. Like I'm not gonna lie, it was a really good game. I did not stop playing it. But there were some days where it's just like I woke up and I was like, nope, no, I'm not going to play it today. Or I would get ready to play it and the main menu would just, nope, that's it, I'm out.
He's like, JK, not doing it.
Yeah, for real. I would play it with a headset on, not the fancy one that I have now, but it was Turtle Beach, and I just turned it up as loud as it could go.
Why?
Because I didn't want to hear anything else.
Oh
I know it's weird. It's just I just love that game so much.
Nope.
And basically the game, it's about Isaac Clarke, the main character. He's looking for his wife. So she was assigned to the USG Ishimura, which is a mining vessel, also known as a planet cracker. So basically they would just go around and, using advanced technology that we don't have, manipulate gravity in a way where it would basically break a piece of a planet off, and they would just suck it into the ship, and then they would just strip it of the ore, and then there was a scientist on the vessel as well, so they would study it or whatever. And it just so happened that this vessel, they had what was called a marker. And this is basically an alien artifact. It emits like a high-tuned frequency that when it comes into contact with dead organic tissue, it reanimates the cells, and it would create the monsters in the game known as necromorphs. So it's kind of creepy because there's also like a religion based on worshiping these types of artifacts, and those types of people want these things to happen. They think that it's like the main like end game.
What?
And it gets crazy like as you play through, especially the second one. It dives deep into that portion of like the lore of the game, but you get a small taste. There's a crazy guy, I can't really remember his name, but he is like a devout, like he's almost a zealot level, like into that religion, and he traps people in the rooms. He gets them converted into the monsters, and then he eventually converts himself because he's so crazy. And I mean, it's just about Isaac trying to find his wife, which, spoiler alert, if you haven't played it, at the end you find out that she's dead. And there's a cool Easter egg that they have hidden. Each level that you play, if you take the first letter of each level, it spells out Nicollo is dead. So if you were somehow paying attention to it towards the end, then you would have found out before you actually find out in the game that she's dead. And the funny thing is, you find out in the same video that you watch in the first like 10 minutes of the game. You watch a film of, or it's like a clip of Nicollo sending basically her love to Isaac, and he cuts it too short. So the last thing she says, it's something so small, and that's when he cuts it. But she's picking up a needle like filled with like, I think something that will kill her, and she just injects herself, and that's how she dies. She just basically kills herself.
It was like a suicide.
Yeah.
So that way she
Suicide
wouldn't
video.
become one of those things, right?
No, just
Or she's
because
just-
everything was going on, she didn't want. I guess she didn't want to die.
Yeah.
Another way.
Oh,
Yeah.
She wanted to die her way, peaceful, no pain.
Yeah.
But I think he cut it off right when she said, "I love you," or something
No,
like that.
no. She says, "I love you" and all that, and then she says, "It's funny. It's something so small," and then she's grabbing the needle,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then that's when he cuts it. But it's so funny because that's the same video you watch at the very end, and then you're just like, "What? I was following her this whole time," but it's just because of the markers. So the high tune frequency that comes out of it affects humans in different ways. So some people only hear noise. Some other people might see like flashes or like images of like an alien language or markings. So because of that, it just causes paranoia and hallucinations, and therefore they just start either killing each other or killing themselves. And yeah, it's just an overall scary game. And I feel like playing it at like such a young age, I mean, not that I was like really young, I was probably like 17, 16 or 17. And I it's just scary. Like, it's just freaky, like just going through, seeing all that. And it's just like, whoa, like, I mean, you see it within like the first 5 minutes of almost each Dead Space 2. And it's just like, you see how the people are affected. And Isaac, because I feel like it's because he's so smart, he's affected in a different way. So he's able to recreate it. And then that actually is how the second game comes to be. But that's a whole nother topic. But yeah, it's just crazy. Just messes with your head.
So when the third game was coming out, when he found out the third game was coming out, he, of course, like, what is it? The pre-order and all that stuff, right? So what he likes to do, especially with movies, is replay the first two games. And then when the third game comes out, up until like 2 days before, day before, he'll finish it and then go jump right into the next one. So when we first moved in together, he showed me the game. Like, I would watch him play it, but it got to the point where he's like, "Here, we're at the Turtle Beach. Put it on full blast. Let me turn off all the lights. I'm going to play it, and you're going to listen to all the weird noise." And it was fun because I was scared. But, I mean, it was freaky or whatever. But when he was playing it again for the third installment to come out, he would wake up, like, have night terrors, wake up in the middle of the night, jump on me and like grab my face, like grab my head and like make sure my head was still attached to my body, because he was having dreams that like the thing was. So when those, what are they called again?
Necromorphs.
So when the necromorphs turn humans, what they do is they like, I don't know if they bite the head off or like chop the head off of the human, or like,
It's still there.
or is it through the head? I can't remember how.
Still there.
It's been a while, but like something with the head, like they attach through the human's body, and like the head's like all, I don't know, it's weird. So he would like jump up
Yeah,
from the
it's real
bed, drenched
creepy.
in sweat, grab me and like shake me to make sure I'm still alive.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
So for his October streaming, like for his October videos, he's planning on replaying the game.
Oh, yeah.
Especially part 2, it's a whole colony and there's
just doing number
daycare.
1.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, it's probably going to bring back all those memories. There's daycare
Yeah.
and stuff, and there's babies in part 2. So I'm like, great. He's probably going to pull Sabrina out of the crib and like, "Are you alive?"
What if she like just looks at you and like, "Dad"? Seriously.
She's done that a few times. Like, I mean, she doesn't say it, but It's
She
like
just
in
looks
her
at him
eyes.
and then
It's
just
like, really?
goes back to
Yeah.
bed. Yeah. But
It's
yeah,
so
he would have a
funny.
lot of night terrors. And then his insomnia would be like really
Oh,
bad
yeah, I
when he would
couldn't
play
sleep.
those games.
I couldn't sleep, and then I'd have to like, I don't know, watch a show or play a different type of game like Call of Duty or something, just
Yeah.
to get my mind off of it.
I do remember
Yeah.
like one time.
Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Like when we were first dating, he called me one time like at 2:00 in the morning, and he was like, "I can't sleep." I'm like, "Why?" He was like, "Just this game." And I was like, "What game?" Like, so then I went over and he showed me, and I'm like, "It's not even that scary."
Oh.
I really I remember I said that I was like, "It's not even that scary." And then when he would play it and I would wear his headphones, I'm like, "Yeah, it's kind of scary."
Oh, hell
But
no.
the cool thing is that when I first played it and I had those fears and stuff like that, what I did to overcome it was just keep playing it. And I beat it so many times that I got all of the achievements for it, and I've completely maxed out the game. So it's just like, I've conquered it. It's like something that I've moved on from. But when I play it again, I thought about playing my save file because I have all the guns, I have all of the, I have all of the suits, I have everything. What I'm going to do is play it on PC fresh. So, and it's been years since I've played that first one, so I know it's going to be like,
New.
yeah. I mean, I know some things I will remember. I'm like, okay, this is obvious. I remember this. And then some of them, they lay down and
They look dead.
they look dead. And you're just like, oh, they're dead. And you walk past them. Sometimes they'll get up immediately, but sometimes they still lay there until you come back because they give you that false hope of security. It's like, he didn't get up the first time. He's not going to get up the second time. And boom, like the hands, it's like the bones. I feel like it's like their bones in their hands, like arc and join with like this. And like, they're like walking like this and they have like blades, like as hands.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
Nope.
It's awesome.
It's awesome. Nope.
Ashley
That's
would
why I don't
love
play video games, you guys.
Ashley would love it.
Nope.
But
Yeah.
Ew.
Actually, that's a big one. Yeah,
What
that's a
the
big
hell?
one. So there's like different like
these are
sizes.
the ones that crawl on the floor.
That's a
Oh,
baby.
hell
Is that
no.
the baby?
That's
Oh
the
yeah,
baby.
that's the baby.
Yeah.
Ew.
We can post pictures on Facebook.
And then
Gross.
there's the normal one,
these-
and then there's
these,
the
right?
armored ones.
Ew.
Yeah.
Oh, hell
And then
no.
the scariest one is the regenerator. Oh yeah, that's one of the those are actually funny. Those come out in part 2. So that big yellow sack that they have, it explodes. So what I always like to do, because it saves bullets, is shoot them. The guns that you have, it's funny because he's an engineer, so he's like smart, and he makes weapons out of like the weirdest things. And the main gun is called the plasma cutter. So it's a tool that you use to like fix stuff like in their feature, but he's weaponized it. So it just cuts stuff. And the way you kill them is you cut their limbs off. You have to cut their limbs off. And what I would do is I would sever that bomb, and you have like a what they call a telekinesis unit. So like basically you can move stuff with your hand, and I would grab it and then throw it back at them, just blow themselves up, or I would just shoot it. But just depending on like where they were, because if they were like right next to me, then I'll blow myself up.
It's a really good game.
It is, yeah.
We played part 3 together because it was multiplayer.
And then I
No
never
thanks.
played it again.
After we beat it, he hasn't played it since
He's
we
like,
beat
I'm
it.
done.
We weren't
I've-
happy with the ending.
I've loaded it up, and then I think I played like the opening because I wanted to see what the opening was like. The opening was great. And I think the dude's name is Tim, but he ends up dying anyways. But yeah, I wasn't happy with it because of the true ending. You have to pay like, it's still $9.99. You have to pay $10 plus the original price for the game, unless you get it on sale, which I'm trying to get for PC. I have it on Xbox, but I want to get it for PC again.
Oh
You
my
should play
God.
it, Ash.
I'm okay. I'm
No?
I'm
You
fine.
could play Alan Wake. That one's good too.
Mm-mm. I only play Spiral and Crash Bandicoot, and that's it. I don't even play Mario Kart because I can't drive.
Mario Kart. Ashley plays Mario Kart.
I tried
she
to play
doesn't
Mario
play,
Kart,
yeah.
but I can't drive the frickin'
I
thing.
love scary games. I'm always like, because I follow Steam on Facebook. Like I like the page. So I always get like the advertisements for the new video games. And then I'm like forwarding them to Tim. Like, hey, babe, look, play this one. Ooh, play this one so I can watch you play it.
That Skyhill game I'm playing right now. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
So it just came out and this has never happened to me before. So every time I get a game like that, because there's a lot of puzzles in it. Not a lot. It's just weird, like the way they made it. But anyways, there is a part that I'm stuck on right now. And the first thing I was stuck on was trying to figure out where to go. Because it's not like most games where it's like, here's your objective. And I mean, I like that when games don't do that. But in this one, there's no general idea of like, you need to go in this way. Like this way is the current objective, because what they do is they give you a map, but the map is not even a map. It's like a picture of like, so you're in a skyscraper, and what they do is they like have a drone and like skyscrapers over there, and they took a picture and like, there's your map. And it's like you have to go up and down the elevator. But then there's other buildings like here. So you don't know when you're in the skyscraper if this way is the way to the buildings over here or this way or that. So it's just like, I don't know where to go.
I'm already confused.
Yeah.
I know. I'm like,
So
what?
that was like my first challenge. And then like I figured it out. I was like, okay, I need to go this way. But then when I got there, and that's where I ended this past Tuesday, I recorded myself playing, there's like this timed puzzle, and I died because I am not good at puzzles. Like, it depends on the game. Like Resident Evil, like, oh my God, I love those puzzles. But when it comes to like weird puzzles like this one, they give you symbols, and then they give you you're trying to figure out a safe like a safe code, and it's like 6 numbers, and they give you 2. And then the rest are symbols. And then there's other symbols to find those symbols. And then your time.
I don't do math.
Yeah. And then they give you the PT effect. Like you're walking from one door and then you enter the same room, but from the opposite end. And you're just like, wait, what the hell? And I mean, it's just freaky. And like, I looked up a guide. And this is why I was saying it's never happened to me before. I tried looking up a guide. There is no guide yet because this is a brand new game. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure it was there. I wasn't looking. I was frustrated when I was looking for it. So,
I'm frustrated hearing you talk about it.
yeah,
She's
I was
like,
sitting
Tim,
there
shut up.
I'm like,
because
what?
I had when I record, I set myself up with a certain number of games, and I'm like, I know I can record this many games in like this amount of time. So I did the smart thing, and that week I was actually recording one less game. But I couldn't get past that part, so I kept playing it, and then I just finally gave up, and I was like, you know what? I recorded enough. I guess, come back to it later. So yeah, it was just frustrating. But yeah, that's thanks to your recommendation.
You're welcome. Anyways, if y'all have any suggestions on video games you would like for us to cover, maybe on a future episode, part 2 of paranormal video games,
possibly
send it to us to our Gmail at scarynotScarypodcast@gmail.com. Or send us your experiences playing Silent Hill. If you happen to play Polybius, or if the Men in Black came and took you and they ran tests on you, let us know what they did.
I wasn't born then.
If you're a streamer and paranormal stuff happened to you while streaming, send that in to us too.
Let us know.
Or if you've played Dead Space, let us know your experiences. We want to hear them.
Don't let me know about that one.
Make sure you put attention. Ashley, please read.
No, like
in
our
the subject line.
Like our last email, it said like the title of what she was talking about.
Sorry,
Ashley. I laughed so hard at that.
And she was still the first one to open up the email and read it. So she's going to read it anyways. After it said, sorry, Ashley, she's like, hey, did y'all see the email? I'm like, what? No, I didn't see it. And I got the notification, but when I opened up the email, it was already read by Ashley.
Pugs galore.
Yeah. Just send
Subject
pug
line.
pictures. I'll be fine.
Yeah, she'll be okay. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Subscribe to us on YouTube. You could also message us through our social media platforms. That works. We have a lot of listeners that do that, and we love hearing from you guys.
Mm-hmm.
We send free stickers to our new listeners that, message us. So we love interacting with everybody.
Yes.
Yes. Make sure to rate and review us on iTunes. Follow us on Spotify. Make sure you download the Podbean app. Subscribe to us on Podbean. We use that platform to, of course, upload our episodes, and then also we do live shows there. You'll get notification on live shows as well.
Yep. It's fun.
Very fun. And since Tim is here,
I don't have a Facebook though.
I'll make you one.
You heard it here first, Tim. If she hasn't made you the Facebook, remind her.
So for any of you guys or any of y'all that don't know, Tim has his own YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So right now, I'm actually finishing up a game and I'm so excited. So this game was called Life is Strange, and it was a game I always wanted to play, but I never got around to it. And it was a game I thought it wouldn't be as interesting as it is, but I should be finished with it by the end of the month and onto a new one. But for the month of October, I have already started. So I'm going to be releasing a video every day, Monday through Friday, October. Scary games only. I mean, there might be like some that are like, for sure, Call of Duty Zombies is going to be in there. You got to have zombies. So, I mean, I might have a few games like that. Not all scary, but yes, definitely check it out. It's Mr. Phantim. That's Phantom spelled with an I instead of an O. And then I also stream on Monday nights around 10 p.m. And you can check it out on Twitch, twitch.com/Mr_Phantim. Yeah.
Always at gmail.com.
No.
Gmail.com. So go check him out, guys.
We'll put the link to his YouTube channel on the description of the podcast, and then we'll also put the link to his Twitch on the description as well. Also follow him on Instagram. He does have an Instagram.
Yes.
Mr. Phantim, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. And then
To post more on there.
and then his Facebook page will be up probably later on tonight. I need to make it. I've been slacking.
Wow.
Yes. So yeah, guys, we can't wait to hear from y'all. And until next time, remember to always stay scared.